Brianna Turner has signed with the Indiana Fever per the WNBA transition page. Some depth for the Fever front court. She played for, again, I believe she played for Chicago.
The WNBA offseason has been full of drama, but one move has got everyone talking. Brianna Turner, a defensive powerhouse, shocked the WNBA world by signing with the Indiana Fever, turning down a potentially bigger deal with the Chicago Sky. Turner's decision to join Caitlin Clark and the Fever not only sent shockwaves through the league,
you don't get told no. Like, you're gonna get the yeses, you're gonna get more yeses than nos, and just being able to know that. So I'm excited for that. I know that's gonna come soon.
It also left Angel Reese fuming. The two-time All-Star from the Sky clearly didn't take too kindly to Turner's decision, and it's making headlines everywhere. So why exactly did Turner choose the Fever, and how is this move affecting both teams? Let's dive into this brewing controversy and the fallout that's shaking up the WNBA landscape. Brianna Turner's unexpected move to Indiana. When the news broke that Brianna Turner had signed with the Indiana Fever, many fans were left shocked, especially those in Chicago. Turner, who is known for her elite defense, seemed like the perfect fit for the Sky.
WNBA free agency is officially underway, Annie. So when you see these names and the options that the Sky have, what do you think that they're cooking up?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because Angel and Camilla are very interesting pieces. And when you're talking about, you know, getting the right players in here, there is intrigue when you have young core pieces like that, because you could be part of developing them and developing towards a title contending season. But the reality is the Sky are still very far from that. And so this year, the focus really has to be on getting players in who are going to bridge that gap between this season and next.
Chicago had the salary cap space to offer her a larger contract, but Turner made the surprising decision to take a pay cut and sign with the Fever. Her move was seen as a big win for Indiana, who had been making aggressive moves to build a championship contending team. Turner's decision to sign with Indiana wasn't just about basketball, it was about timing, with the Fever rapidly building a roster stacked with talent, including Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and other veterans.
So, in a kind of a surprising turn of events, the Indiana Fever have made yet another move this offseason, and they have signed Bree Turner to the roster.
Turner saw an opportunity to join a team that's ready to compete now, rather than waiting for the future. The Fever had the right mix of youth and experience, and it was clear that the organization had big plans. However, the real shocker came when it was revealed that Turner had turned down a bigger paycheck from Chicago to make the move. That didn't sit well with some of her former teammates and fans.
Pieces that Stephanie White and Amber Cox is going after. They're going after ready elite talent, kind of, you know, they know their responsibility, they know what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? They don't really have to do a whole lot of coaching like that, teaching plug and play pieces, and women that are going to come in and make immediate impact. That's what you want to see from this basketball team. That's what you see from elite teams across the league.
Angel Reese's reaction. Enter Angel Reese, the outspoken star of the Chicago Sky. As soon as Turner's decision to join the Fever became public, Reese wasted no time expressing her frustration. On social media, she posted a seemingly playful tweet that carried a lot of weight. With a side eye and a sarcastic laugh, Reese tweeted, "Oh, so this is what we're doing now." She tried to keep it light, but it was clear that the comment wasn't just a joke. It was laced with frustration and disappointment.
So, lads, this is not great news, you know, for the Chicago Sky, who are a team that obviously they're rebuilding. This is a team that is 100% rebuilding. The problem is they don't own their pick. So if the Chicago Sky run it back, they're probably not making the playoffs next year. Look, I think there's going to be an improvement from Angel Reese. I think it's going to be an improvement from Cardoso. But that team with no Chennedy Carter, it's going to be real tough getting the offensive pass.
For Reese, this wasn't just about one player choosing a rival over her team. It was about the bigger picture. Chicago was in the midst of a rebuilding phase, and Turner's rejection felt like a slap in the face. Reese, who has long been trying to convince the world that the Sky were a legitimate contender, couldn't help but feel like Turner's move was a sign of things to come. The fact that Turner chose to join Indiana, a team that had already been stacking up talent, instead of staying in Chicago, was a tough pill to swallow. Why did Turner choose Indiana over Chicago? So what made Turner choose Indiana?
It is funny that all these people who hated the Indiana Fever last year is finally coming around to sign with the team. Go figure. Now, I don't know the whole initial thing about this signing, maybe for depth, defensive purposes, but it is funny to see how what a year make when the Indiana Fever is one of the, not one, but is the top team.
For one, the Fever have been making waves this offseason, adding star players like Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and others. Indiana is clearly building something special, and Turner recognized that. By signing with the Fever, she knew she was joining a team that was ready to compete for a championship, not just in a few years, but now.
Indiana Fever are officially title contenders. Every day they have something new for us in free agency. And today, it's Miss Dewanna Bonner. 6-time WNBA All-Star and WNBA champ, a veteran in this game, can pretty much do it all, also an enforcer, nasty defense. Should I continue? We have a new starting five. Caitlin at the 1, Kelsey at the 2, Dewanna at the 3, Natasha Howard at the 4, and Aaliyah Boston at the...
Additionally, Turner's decision wasn't just about basketball. She took a pay cut to join Indiana, which indicates her belief in what the Fever are building. Chicago, on the other hand, has been in a rebuilding phase. And while they have talented players like Angel Reese, the team wasn't as poised for immediate success. Turner's decision was likely influenced by the sense of urgency in Indiana and the opportunity to play with an elite player like Caitlin Clark. But it wasn't just about basketball. The move also sent a message to Reese and the Sky. The Fever were becoming a destination for top-tier talent, and Chicago's once promising future was looking uncertain. Reese tries to shake it off, but fans aren't having it.
Is Angel Reese, did she just run a coach out of town, and is she running a player out of town? Their best shooter out of town? Because Chennedy Carter looks like she's ready to book it out of Chicago.
While Angel Reese tried to brush off her frustration with a social media post, the truth was, the damage was done. Fans immediately took notice, and the tweet quickly became the talk of WNBA Twitter. It was clear that Reese wasn't happy about Turner's decision, and fans of both teams took to social media to voice their opinions.
What Steph White is doing and what the Fever organization is doing is nothing less than phenomenal, in my opinion. They are taking this young, talented core that they have, you know, with Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, and they're adding veteran players that Stephanie White has already worked with. Let's talk about that too, and has chemistry with and knows the work ethic of. And they are building this super team, make no mistake about it, that is going to give you...
Reese's tweet, though seemingly casual, reflected deeper issues within the Sky. With Turner choosing the Fever over Chicago, it became obvious that players were beginning to see Indiana as the team to beat. For Reese, this was a tough pill to swallow. The Sky had been in a rebuilding phase, but now it seemed like the Fever were speeding up their process and building a roster that could challenge for a title right now. The WNBA's growing super team, the Fever's move to contender status. Turner's signing was just the latest move in a series of aggressive acquisitions by the Indiana Fever. With Caitlin Clark leading the way, the Fever have become one of the most intriguing teams in the WNBA. They already had rising stars like Aaliyah Boston, and now with Turner on board, they were starting to look like a super team. The Fever were clearly assembling the pieces for a championship run, and Turner was the perfect addition to their defense-heavy lineup. The combination of Clark's offensive firepower, Boston's inside presence.
Breaking news came down, so we have to discuss it. This is what we do here. We're talking about the Indiana Fever making yet another move, Alicia, because they're Thanos right now and they're collecting all the Infinity Stones.
And Turner's defense made them a team to watch. Even Reese and other WNBA stars took notice of Indiana's rapid rise. In the end, the real winner here might not be Turner or Reese, but the fans who get to watch this drama unfold on the court. The Fever are ready to challenge for the title, while the Sky will have to figure out how to catch up. The WNBA just got a lot more interesting, and it's only going to get better from here. If you enjoyed this breakdown, check out our other video on how the WNBA's free agency is changing the league's landscape. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates and in-depth analysis.